So, since I'm dividing this up for YouTube, I'm going to say, hey everyone, welcome to the patch notes for version 1.0.3.0. So this is a very, very long list of patch notes. As you can see, there's a lot to cover. I'm not going to cover every single detail. I will be going over these, for everyone. Clobber just got it. So, I will be going over these and trying to hit the important points. I don't need my headphones for this. And in going over these, I will give you my insights from what I gleaned while playing it. So, new major features. Major new features is what's listed. I prefer putting the word new in front of my major features. Anyway, so the casting mechanic has been changed. So now when you throw out a spell, when you throw out an ability, you don't walk up to where you're targeting, to where the max range of the ability is, then use the ability. Now you just throw the ability. It's a massive improvement. You can toggle it back to classic if you want. I would suggest not doing it and getting used to it. Because what this means is you can essentially control your character more precisely. Because now you move up to where you want to go and then you throw the ability. It's no longer you move where you want to go, then you hit cast, and your character moves where they want to go and then throw the ability. It's a huge improvement for just the flow of the game, and it feels a hell of a lot better. They're also implementing some controller stuff. I haven't played with that at all. I don't have any desire to play with that at all. I'm fine with them doing that, though. Just giving more access to a controller. Thank you for the follow, Egelix. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, you'll just throw it at the wall now. Essentially, there's no movement associated with casting any ability. Now you actively have to position your character. That's a huge improvement, though. Because it lets you position where you want or need to be to use your abilities. It also means something like stutter stepping is a lot easier. It means Calidor's Tempest actually works a lot better. Hey, Wrecked by Protoss. It's live now. These patch notes are live on the forum. They were posted not even 10 minutes ago. Clobber just downloaded the thing, and I'm like, oh, are the patch notes up? Here they are. So we're reading them right now. They're hot off the presses. Okay, so the Crucible. Ashes of Malmoth, monster infrequents, and rare materials can now drop in the Crucible. Mod tools, that's stuff for modders. Art. So this is another one. I didn't mention this, but it might have been obvious if you were paying close attention. Male and female models have been visited by a tailor, with major tweaks to numerous armor models and textures. All shoulders have been resized to better fit torsos with improved tighter alignment, and numerous texture tweaks for improved color and brightness balance. All feet have been resized to better fit legs, with improved proportions, several feet textures tweaked as well. Tweaks to several helmet models, textures to improve color or brightness. Hang on a second. This will probably just help everyone reading at home too. So I will make sure chat doesn't overlap, or at least try to. Several tweaks on leg armor for improved color balance, and several tweaks of miscs, shields, improved for normal. Blah, 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 blah. So basically, they made the characters look better. And you might have noticed this in the menus in Grim Dawn when I was like sitting there looking at my sorcerer. Because I was sitting there and I was like, should I mention that it's changed? Because nobody actually pointed it out, that his shoulders are now smaller and tighter to the body. The feet are leaner looking, less clunky. It just looks a lot better. Animation. Fix a discrepancy between pickup speeds with different weapon types. So pickup speeds are now equal across all weapons. Tech. Fix the bug with extra pets would follow a player incorrectly. They added Ultra Shadows. I mentioned that earlier in the stream. Fixed an issue with Force Wave that would cause the game to crash in combination with certain abilities, converting its damage. Fixed the bug with illusions not saving properly if the character is equipped. Devotion Reclamation will now use Aether Crystals from the stash if none are present in the inventory. That's a quality of life thing. Oh. patch notes again. Let's see. Veteran game showing Steam browser skill cooldowns, not showing status icons on client. Okay, multiplayer crap. This doesn't look like anything that important. It's just little things. Yeah, so the game. So, perform the tuning pass in various Ashes of Malmoth encounters across all difficulties, as well as monster scaling levels at 85+. Overall, incoming physical damage should be a little lower. So basically, this is what I was talking about when things are retuned a bit. They toned down the damage. Just the physical damage. So it's going to work a lot better. See you later, Gwee. Thank you for coming. So the Potion of Clarity buff cannot be dispelled anymore. Target dummies are now in the Sewer hideout and the Malmoth hideout. They're up the stairs and are... I should have kept the game open to show some of these. Forums are overloaded. Uh-oh. Guess I'm not refreshing this page. Oh, we're going through them. I know the Malmoth ones, they're up the stairs that are right next to your shared stash. Sort of like here are the two, like, here's the stairs right there. Here are your two respeckers and transmuter. They're up here. They're sort of northeast of the stairs. It's the most important. I'm going into this because it's the most important update, obviously, in all of this. Adding missing quest resolution for Hargate's notes. Take a look around the Fleshworks. Reduced infamy gained with the beast faction per kill. So you don't gain infamy as fast as beasts. You increase the faction gain with the outcast faction. Adjusted the damage and healing of the beast nemesis, particularly in its split form. Reduced its maximum health. It can no longer spawn inside dungeons. So that's Kuba's nerf. They just reduced the damage and healing it does. Adjusted the damage and the oppression aura of the Ashes of Malmoth Chthonic nemesis, Gravathol. Slightly reduced the speed and duration of its homing annihilation orb, and reduced its frequency of its charge ability. Easier to run away from, easier to deal with its nullifications. The aura is a little lessened, though of course I fought Gravathol next to another oppressor and had double aura, but whatever. Updated the projectile effect for the Arcane Hero archetype Dispel Bolt to be much more pronounced, slightly reduced its speed. Didn't notice that when I fought Arcane guys, but whatever. They're not that bad. So they added a bunch of shortcuts to the Derpidon Lair, the Black Sepulchre, Hargate's Laboratory, and the Tomb of Korvac. So you'll be able to just get out of there instantly and back on the overworld map. The Wraith of Ugnenbog quest is now completed for all players that are in the same task in multiplayer. Okay, when the Mighty Lord of Spirits turned in. Fixed an issue with Richter's Thanks quest could become stuck if the player also previously completed the Gloomwald stash quest. Players previously affected by this can unlock access to the Malmoth stash by visiting the sewer hideouts with the affected character. This will unlock the stash and grant you access to the chest inside. I didn't have to deal with that. Hey Slysdale, long time no see. We have a Nightbot now. And I have my emotes getting approved, hopefully soon. Actually, let me check that real quick. Nope, still not approved yet. Okay. Yeah, I never had issues with that, but I mean, whatever. I had issues with this. The Gloomwald stash quest being impossible to start on another difficulty. The quest now begins from a quest item which drops from the same area as the lore note previously did. I had troubles with that one, so that one was fixed. Fixed an instance where the Fleshworks dungeon door would remain closed after destroying the vents across multiple sessions. Fixed... Actually, that one happens to me. This happened to me when I went back down there. Let's see. Fixed the case for the Barrowhome faction quests, where Tyvold's quest became impossible to turn in. Players stuck on these turn-ins can speak to Tyvold to complete the quests. Fixed Bellefold being unable to craft random legendary accessories. Whoever asked about that, she can now craft random legendary accessories. Oh, excuse me. Luna Volgo's monster and frequency dropped from Grobother. Okay, little thing there. Fix over bounties providing incorrect instructions. Fix an issue with the revered champion. Ooh, thank you for the subscription, Slysdale. It means a lot. I'm working towards partner, by the way. They now have these stream summary things, and the only step I need to do is up my viewership. What's the max number of stashes? You mean stash pages? Because I think it's 5 or 6. Oh, these stashes I'm talking about are quest stashes, as in hidden stashes, not your stash. I think it's only 2 hidden stashes. Where was I? Okay, fix an issue with the revered champion achievement being impossible to complete. Fix an issue with the unequaled slayer. Okay, achievement fixes, which I think I was affected by one of those. Mad Ramblings being impossible to complete. The player dropped the thing. Restarted the session. Okay, fixed an error there. Afterfall not being able to craft legendary shoulders. Legendary Guardian during summons, generating no threats. Ogrim now correctly takes a break from all the fighting after a living factory quest and returns to resistance base. So Ogrim just goes back to the base after that quest is done. Yeah, my character's armor got jumped way up. I was like, oh wow, he has 19 now. Because he had like 16 on Tuesday. 1,600. Now he has 1,900, and that's a big jump. Yeah, so the disparity between heavy and caster/light armor has gotten a bit too large with the increased level cap, though it won't hurt to bring them closer together at lower levels as well. To address this, all light and caster armor pieces have had their armor values significantly increased. If you find a heavy armor that had its armor increased, or a light armor that did not, please report it as a bug. That's actually brand new. That wasn't in our test patch notes. So they just upped the armor on the lighter armors, which is nice. Dismantling now has a chance to generate Ashes of Mammoth rare crafting materials. The chance increases at level 90+. Increase the overall drop rate of Ashes of Mammoth rare crafting materials. Increase the drop rate of rare items from the Nemesis Troves. And slightly increase the drop rate of legendary items. Increase the drop rate of rare item from treasure troves. Treasure troves now have a chance to generate Ashes of Mammoth rare crafting materials at level 40+. Increases at 90+. Huge improvement there. The blacksmith in the Mammoth base will now convert ancient hearts and tainted brain matters to ethereal mutagen, ethereal missives, and wendigo spirits at a ratio of 6:1 and a polished emerald. That's awesome. You can also convert between all of those with a blacksmith out in the Mammoth outskirts. Okay. Final chest of roguelike dungeons now always drop at least one legendary item on ultimate. Chance of dropping legendary items slightly increased on normal and elite. The chest now always attempts to drop a blueprint on all difficulties. Again, massive improvement to the drop rate and getting blueprints. I actually think running Steps of Torment now is probably your best farming bet when you're not doing the Crucible. Increased chance of dropping legendary items from the Gauntlet events in roguelike dungeons, like the Death Room, particularly on Elite and Ultimate, which is nice. Common versions of Monster and Frequents have been removed from the loot pool, as some of these items had unique appearances. A special vendor has been added to Fort Icon that sells various common Monster and Frequents without affixes for collectors and the Illusionist. Haven't visited that thing yet, but I might go do it. Increase the base pierce ratio on common quality swords. Fixed an issue where certain affixes would not appear on items at higher levels. This impacted caster weapons in particular, which had significantly reduced affix pools in 70+. So that was an issue, and they fixed it. I think everyone knew about that issue. Yeah, my DPS jacked way up, and obviously because of Aether Ray, but my armor went up a lot. That was the big thing. Fixed an issue where rare cases of rare armor would lower base level things. Fixed an issue with accessories that could drop without affixes. Fixed an issue with Monster and Frequency that would drop without affixes. Fixed an issue with loot tables that cause certain affixes to appear significantly more than others, like Mending Thorns Tough. Fix an issue with several rare affixes having lower than intended damage. Two-handed weapons. Let's see. Fixed an issue with several two-handed weapons and generated one-handed issue. Let's see. Rare Veracity. Replace bonus to drain essence with to Reaping Strike. Faction. Fix the blueprint for Wraithguard crafting the wrong item. Faction. Stormbringer of Malmoth. Reduce the lightning damage for pets to 220. Infrequent. Descendant Conduit. Reduce the cooldown. So these are all very specific item things. I'm just gonna like go through these kind of quickly. So they updated the Reaper skill bonuses. Salazar Sovereign Blade. I had one of these drop the other day. It's now a caster dagger. It's vitality based, and it's been retooled a bit. It's actually kind of an interesting thing to go for if you're doing a pet build. Okay, replace this one is nice. So replace the crafting bonuses for Devil Crossing Blacksmith with % physique. Existing items with the old crafting bonuses are unchanged. So Angrim and Duncan had a tiny bit of physical damage and a tiny bit of elemental damage, respectively, on their crafts. Now they give % physique. This is actually a more recent one. I don't even think I had it in my version of the playtest. Someone brought it up the other day that it's basically useless to have Blacksmith's Craft 5% elemental damage or physical damage. So, yeah, just getting % physique on both is really nice. Relics. % damage crafting bonuses are removed from the crafting bonus table for all relics that could generate them. Instead, these relics can now generate % defensive ability or % crit. All existing relics that remove the bonuses have received a 10, 13 all damage crafting bonus. So yeah. There's the link. Forums might be down. Heads up. Let's see. So yeah, relics just got changed so they don't generate the tiny bits of damage anymore in their completion bonuses. Bane, reduce the cooldown of skill proc. Dirge, fix missing stances for summoned pets, improved aggression and attack rate. Doom, granted skill now increases applied debuff, blah, blah, blah. Eldritch Pact, granted skill now procced, activate 15% of its heads on attack. I don't know what that one did. Equilibrium now has 5% movement speed. That might be the best amulet for leveling up now. Yeah, Seal of Blades got nerfed. The ability did. Seal of Corruption is just good all around. So the Life Leech is now resistance reduction. Or % Life Leech resistant reduction increased. Excuse me. Massacre. Granted skill now proc. Unleashing a bloody spine that pierces through enemies on low cooldown. Now his Outbreak. Reduce the cooldown and increase the damage on the granted skill. I like that. They were actually toying around making that a proc, and that got complained about rightly. No, they're not. They're not doing an overhaul to the blacksmith at all. That Xantai was in here on Tuesday, and he actually mentioned that. Putting like a search box would be their biggest thing. Yeah, I'm using Nadala's Outbreak too. I was really reluctant to be like to get behind them making that a proc, but them keeping it casted and making it just faster casting. I really like that. In terms of cooldown. No, they're not. Xantai said he'd like to do a search function maybe, but completely overhauling the crafting system would require overhauling the game. Or doing like a Grim Dawn 2 borderline, that amount of work to get that fixed. So, he said it's a known thing, but he doesn't know if they'll be able to work on it at all. But a search box would be like the big thing to go for. Okay, so they reduced the resistance reductions on these 3 items. Sorting bits. Mythical Cowlblind Senate, fixed item requiring wrong type. Uncraftable, Mass Infernal Truth, uncraftable, blah, 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 blah. Okay, legendary items. Aegis of Legion set. Increase the damage on granted skill, add a 10% total speed bonus. Aegis Defender, replace fire with +1 to all skills. Increase bonus. That's not bad. That shield's not bad from what I remember. Let's see. Allagash Stormbringer. Replace the defensive ability mod with reduced resistance modifiers, which is awesome. Added 100% cold delta's Aether modifier for Trojans. That's amazing. Oh my god, I want to try that. They might be trying for a console version, given the controller overhaul. No word yet in like a Linux version. Yeah, I was kind of thinking of doing Allagash Set with my Sorcerer as a test build. I might go for it now, given that it has 10% resistance reduction, and it makes Aether Lightning Trojan Sky Shards. That's awesome. I'm definitely gonna give that a go now. So let's see. I'm not gonna read every single thing in here. Conduit a blank. Updated many skill modifiers granted by the necklaces to be more powerful. That would be worth looking at. Let's see. Remove erroneous damage. Okay, Dark One's gifts. Made the following adjustments to the skill proc. Remove the physical Aether bonuses and conversion of Aether to physical. Reduce the heal to 7%. So they just focus that set in. Hey, General Chaos Z. Welcome. Dark Blaze set. They redesigned the Dark Blaze set. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I hear it's not bad, thanks to Dickie coming in and saying so. So let's see. So it looks like the Death Guard's just getting tweaked a bit. The Diviner set, I got to look at this. They redid it so it's a Vitality Aether set. And I think it's a little boring now, honestly. It's the same concept. The best thing they did was the helmet now has resistance reduction added to Ill Omen. Otherwise, the set is basically the same thing. And it's a little less interesting to me now that it does Vitality conversion on stuff. Or it does Elemental to Aether. The cold damage will change to Vitality damage. And if I recall correctly, the fire damage is now Vitality damage for Devastation with the offhand. So it's a little less interesting to me as a set. So let's see. Oh yeah, and the Dehe Guard Zantai Dehe Guard. So the Dehe set, they just tweaked it a bit. I don't think they nerfed it at all, but they just tweaked it a bit. Let's see. Dread Knight's Guard and Leg Plates. Bonuses have been redesigned to be physical vitality rather than pets. I'm guessing it's going to be Death Knighty now. Dreadweaver, attack speed, cast speed, Edge of Death, increased attack speed, Edge of Sanity, added missing, physical converted to Aether. Evoker, added that. First cube, added 100% Aether, Delta as cold modifier to Peneti's replicating missile. That's cool. That's really cool. We can do Frostbolts, everyone. Let's see. Gilder's Pulverizer, added Pierce to Granado. Girdle Stolen Dreams, replace Energy Burn with cast speed. So they're taking Energy Burn out of the game, essentially. I believe they've gotten all instances of it, but Energy Burn was kind of a goofy ability even way back in the day. So anything that had Energy Burn is getting that taken away, and they're adding different things in place of it. Guardian of Death's Gates, increase all damage. Gut Masher, replace bleed damage with additional physical damage. Bleed damage is causing a crash. That's funny, just throw that all away so you don't crash anymore. Jackson's Lucky Bullet, fixed chance, so the weapon pool skill cause a trigger off itself, reduce the weapon damage. Corpus Set, increase cold damage. Corpus Hood, increase the lightning converted to cold modifier for Savage to 100%, and increase the cold damage modifier to 35. Okay, that is awesome. It's now just lightning converted to cold, so you can do pure cold savagery. That's gonna be awesome for tricksters. You just get to focus on one damage now. One damage type. Yeah, so Krieg Set. +1 to Necromancer has been added to the 4 set. They reduced the flat Aether damage and added all resistance reduction to the granted skill. Essentially, what was going on with Krieg Set is it made weapon attacks obscene. And it still does, just to a lesser extent. This will help out greatly with dealing damage still. So they kind of just shifted things around a bit. And they're making it a Death Knight and Battle Mage and Spellbinder technically set, but I'd say Battle Mage and Death Knight gain the most out of it. So the boots get +2 to Mark Torment and 7% movement speed, so they actually get movement speed now. Chest Guard is +2 to Spectral Wrath, Grip is +2 to Spectral Binding, Shoulder Guard's +2 to Spectral Binding. So basically the exact skill you want to focus on from the Death Knight combo to get a lot of Aether damage out and get health and offensive ability going. There you go. Okay, Life Blaze Mantle. Replace % Fire with % Elemental, Frostburn, and Electrocute. This is already a case with the mythical version. Nice, Clobber. Let's see. Lights Defender, reduce the armor. Lights Defender, reduce the armor. Mage Slayer's Hood, added 10% crit damage modifier for flames. Morgo. Oh, that's it? I was hoping the Mage Slayer's gloves would get attack speed. Whatever. Morgu's Mortality, added missing cooldown to skill proc. Mythical Aether Reach, added 10% on attack of Aether Cascade. They removed the modifiers for Aether Ray Reap Spirit. Best buff in the game ever. Period. Anyways, Mythical Arcanar. Replace the energy cost reduction with % elemental resistance reduction, added 70 elemental damage to Force Wave modifier. Yeah, they upped all of the armor on light armor and caster armor. So my sorcerer, when I was playing him, he had 1,900 armor. It's great. Do you think they can ever make gun builds feel like gun builds? How so? I think that's more on a player to make a gun build feel like a gun build, if I'm being honest. Let's see. Physical damage modifiers for the 2 summons. OA. I'm just going to see if I find any notable things in here. Increase the converted physical for reaping strikes. Okay. Increase attack speed. Increase the vitality converted to physical modifier. Okay, so you can do physical reaping strikes with Death Dealer sidearm. There's your Blood Boil. Okay, those 2 were redesigned. That was like the earlier version. Welcome back, Dickie. The old set piece is still going to be the same? Or oh, they always change the set pieces. I believe Grim Dawn pulls from its own database for your gear. So it's like there's one database of items that all your gear is pulled from. So it's always changed. I think there's some stuff for crafted gear that can't change because of the way it works. Edge of Death. Attack speed. Replace Primal Strike with Savagery. Gauntlets of Ignifier. Replace Burn modifier with Fire damage. Kelfit Zod. Reduce lightning damage on the proc. Guardian of Death Gates. Increase all damage. Increase all... Okay. Correct skill proc having same issues as the lower level version. Weapon damage. Okay, so the Heart of the Mountain pet's stronger. So the radius for that's been reported now. That scroll up a bit. Placed attack speed with total speed. Hey, that's awesome. Mark of the Dreadblade. It's great for your Battle Mage, Spellbinder, Death Knight. Most. If it had a 75 version, it'll probably have a mythical version. Stuff from like 82, I think, is the next tier, and up doesn't. Yeah, your current items change. Your current items will change to the new items. The only time it doesn't do that is with like it mentions some relics aren't going to change to the new versions. They're just going to get tweaked because they're crafted. And then some like green items still have legacy. Do still have legacy variations. They aren't worth keeping anyways. I think I have a legacy officer's sword. I pass around some characters. Oh, it's a big update. It's a big update of small tweaks. Anyway, Mark of Forbidden. Replace chance to cast Toxic Death Cloud. Or add a chance to cast a Toxic Death Cloud. Oh, that's, I think, the ability from before. Maw of Despair. Fix Caladar's Tempest correctly. Grant a 33% reducing enemy damage. Peerless Eye. Reduce the offensive ability. That's good. That's just for the health of the game. No. Well, yeah, yeah. Okay, so if it's an ability that deals just flat damage, it doesn't work. It needs to have weapon damage. So if you're adding flat damage into your weapon damage, it works with that. Let's see. Soulbearer added 100% of kill of Trap Soul proc. That's back. Fix the cooldown modifier for the Rune of Hagarod not applying. Added casting speed. Electrocute modifier. Okay, yeah. So the Stormseer Sapphire, the mythical version, it had like Storm Spread and something else on it that wasn't Albrecht's Aether or Kalador's Tempest related. That's why they added this chunk on, to actually bring the rest of that together. And they added the casting speed on to just help the casting DPS. Oh, the biggest change is the casting. Yeah, that gets added into your weapon. So long as you're doing weapon swings and there's weapon damage on those swings, that's counted. As far as I know. Okay, that got updated values. Trojan Hat now applies its thing properly. Vitality damage to drain essence. Viper Fang gets increased doodads. Nature's Regalia. Fix an issue with the summon pet limit would break for clients in multiplayer. Peerless Eye. Offensive ability reduced. Rage of Agarex. The Arcane Wisps now attack more frequently and apply an all resistance debuff. Replaced their elemental damage with fire damage. Mythic. Okay, I've already shown this off. Okay. I'm just gonna say I don't know. I don't want to sound mean. I don't actually care that much about a tiny bit of added on damage going for a tiny bit of extra lifesteal. It's so insignificant, you're probably not even going to notice. So, I don't know. We're going in the realms of like, this adds about 20 extra damage on. How much lifesteal does that give me back? And I'm like, it's at the point where it's, I don't know. I don't want to look it up. I don't think it matters. Not to sound like an asshole. I really don't mean to sound mean. I'm just like, I honestly don't know. Get numbers bigger. There. Then you'll get more lifesteal. Get more lifesteal. Then you'll get more lifesteal out of your main attacks. I'm at that point where it's like, this is like a Comic-Con question to like a voice actor about a game. It's at that point where I'm just like, how am I supposed to know now? Sorry, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but I really honestly don't know. And I don't care to know. Okay, back to the notes. Mythical Arcane Shard of Agravax. Sure. Corvin. Yeah, 50 flat added to something that deals 50% weapon damage, you get 25 added. That's how that works. And if you have, what, 10% lifesteal, you'll get 2 life per hit. I actually think it's less. But that like I said, that's getting into the point where you're worrying about single digits of... You're just worrying about, like, to me, at that point, you're worrying about single digits of lifesteal, and it's just not going to be that relevant. Anyways, the Arcane Shard, it still has the Aether damage added to Vindictive Flame, and you get 10% armor on top of that. That is added on because it was brought up that the Kalidor's Tempest set didn't give you tankiness. So now it gives you tankiness. So the Codex, they increase the weapon damage modifier for Kalidor's Tempest with it, and you add on Aether Res reduction with it for Siphon Souls. And then you just get health on the mantle. So you get health out of the set now, makes you more tanky. You get armor with Vindictive Flame, makes you more tanky. If you're doing the Necro thing, the Spellbinder thing between the two, that just lets you deal more damage. Let's see. Ravager's Bite, add a missing cooldown to skill proc. Fire and Ice, add a missing cooldown to skill proc. Replace resistances. Percent offensive parts. They fixed Shepherd Lost Souls setup. Same way they did with that other set. Mask of Lost Souls. Added a 1 second cooldown modifier for raised skeletons, so you can summon skeletons faster. Shard of Lost Souls. Replace the +2 Fire Cloud, +2 Hellfire. Added attack speed modifier for summon Hellhound. That's cool. Spell Scourge Bulwark. Added physical damage modifier to Devastation. Spell Scourge Bulwark. Visor. Added -3 second cooldown modifier for Devastation. So Spell Scourge is going to make your Devastations more common. You're going to be able to summon them or cast them more, and they're going to hit harder within that set's gimmick. Let's see. Updated values. Cataclysm. Updated values. Updated values. Added off OA to the set. Vulgars. Replaced or reduced the life leech resistance reduction modifier for Siphon Souls. Increase the thing on the thing. Wrath of Agravax set. That's a repeat. Mantle of Agravax. Oh, this is the normal Wrath of Agravax, not the Rage of Agravax. I mean, you're not wrong, Saru, but I wouldn't worry about it. Increase the thing on the things. That is the official... That's the official subtitle for this patch notes. They're increasing the things on the things. So let's see. We have another set of... Okay, corrected a few weapons that had partial base dot damage that was incorrectly calculated for their level. So these all had corrected damages. Got a question. The Black Legion says you get rep from killing outcasts. What do they look like? Okay, so the outcast, when you go to Fort Icon, there's like that area on the top, the area on the bottom with the rift gate, and that door. In that door is Anasteria. And Anasteria, if you make friends, she's the outcast. If you make friends with her, you get her as a friendly faction, and you can do quests for her, and you get access to her bounty table and her vendor. Now, you can choose to kill her and make her an enemy. In that case, the Outcast becomes an enemy faction, and the rest of that area she's in becomes a dungeon you can run through. If you run through that dungeon, you will gain infamy with the Outcast as a negative faction, and eventually you can make her into a nemesis spawn, more or less, because she's the boss at the end. And in doing so, that's how you increase Black Legion rep, by killing things. Now, I almost always make Anastasia a friend and just not worry about it, because you get a lot of Black Legion rep from doing quests. If you make her a friend, you have to either just do quests to get Black Legion reputation or do bounties for them. Okay. If you make her an enemy, though, you can farm her for their for gaining the reputation. But I almost always make her a friend. She's much more benevolent than malevolent. I think the opposite of Barrowhome. Barrowhome seems malevolent to me. I usually make them an enemy. Anyway, yeah, epic items. They added mythical versions of the Eastern Pledge, the Plagueblade Carver, and the Paragon of the Arcanum set. I actually had the blueprints for the helmet for the Paragon of the Arcanum set. It looks really good. And I actually think maybe if you do, because it's a shoulder helmet set, and I think if you equip those with the Invoker set, you actually have a really good core for your Panetti's characters. Yeah, these are the two relevant things here. So the Mage Lord's rings. They reduce the flat Aether damage on both. They replace the Calidor's Tempest bonus with Inner Focus. They reduce the offensive ability on the other one and replace the Cadence with +2 to Fighting Form. Because those were out of control if you got a hold of them, actually. Oh yeah, you can do that. You can kill her on normal and elite and then befriend her. That's totally an option. The only reason I do it just on normal is because I know you get her reputation incredibly quickly, too. Black Legion is one of them. I think all of this default allied factions are worth farming for. But Black Legion, like by the time you need to be at Revered with them, you'll probably be at Revered with them, or close to it, just through questing. Because you get a lot of reputation for doing their quests, which are basically the story quests. Okay, all this is pretty standard stuff, but yeah, all they really did was the Mage Lord set, they toned it down from the insanity. I didn't use it on my Battle Mage. I've heard it was really good, and it's still good, but now it's just not, like, overtly good. Okay, components. They reduced the crafting cost for all Ashes of Malmoth components. Ancient Armor Plate now has Armor Absorption. They increased the movement speed on Dread Skulls. Living Armor, the Spear bonus was replaced with Armor Absorption. Mark of Bog Dragon increased the movement speed. Mark of the Traveler increased the movement speed. Sacred Plating replaced the Cutting bonus with Armor Absorption. Seeing a theme with this stuff. Increased damage and Armor Absorption on Seal Blades. Basically, all of these were about increasing or gaining Armor Absorption to make it easier for non-soldiers to have that. Yeah, Homestead, though, you get rep off of killing beasts. And beasts are one of the most common enemies in the game. Possibly the most common. So the seals were all tweaked. I don't think there's anything major. Seal of Corruption got the Aether Lightning resistance reduction. Yeah, the big one was Seal of Blades. The ability Whirling Blades, they changed it. So now it's an aura. AA on seals? Do you mean RR? The Seal of Corruption, the granted skill has reduced Aether and Lightning resistance or I should say Aether and Lightning resistance reduction on it. That Aether corruption ability. It has 8% in both. I was using it with my Aether Ray guy just now. It's a nice little damage boost. Yeah, so this is basically increasing damages, reducing cooldowns, all that sort of stuff for this. Oh, and Ward Stones now give movement speed. I don't know if I'd ever want to still use Ward Stones. So, class and skills. All pet bonus scaling pets now have 33% resistance to leech life effects. Basically, they'll live a little easier. Oh, AA, yeah. No, I said AA on components. Sorry. I didn't mean seals. I meant components. I don't think there is any armor absorption on any of the seals. There is armor granted by the skill for Seal of Blades, though. And they don't let you put attack stuff on it. Okay, anyways. Devotion. Fixed an issue where attack / crit / celestial powers could be assigned to certain buff skills. This is unintended behavior, as buffs are meant to be bound exclusively to hit, block, low health powers. This may have caused your assigned celestial powers to reset. Weapon pool skills. Things like Reaping Strike, Necrotic Edge, Markovian's Advantage, Zohan's Technique, all of the dual blade skills, except for dual blades, that's just damage. Anything that has like % chance to activate on attack is a weapon pool skill. Or is it weapon proc skill? Whatever. It's the same thing. It procs off of you doing basic attacks. Yeah, so this patch, not only is it the things change the things patch, not only is it the AAR patch, it's the movement speed patch. So this is where all of it is, and I'll get to it as we go through. I'm just going to read it quickly. But anyways, yeah, the celestial powers can't be assigned to certain buff skills now the way they could before, aka Seal of Blades, which is correct in my opinion. And I think everyone figured that was coming. So let's see. Increased flat attribute bonuses on all constellations. Some new attribute bonuses have been added to stars that previously had none, or added to stars that previously only had a bonus to one attribute. So yeah, your physique, your cunning, and your spirit now get increased a bit more by devotion. Affliction, they added some vitality decay. Blades of Nadon, they added some flat pierce damage. The bull got movement speed. The crane, they added some reflect resistance for the player. Added some poison and vitality resistance for pets. The eel increased the movement speed a lot. I think that's double what it was before. Harvestman's Scythe increased the movement speed. The Jackal replaced attack and cast speed with total speed, which is great. The Jackal is a nice little, like, 3-part constellation. The Lion, the Lizard, Scales of Ukama all got movement speed. Slow's Witchblade, they replaced the energy burn with fire damage, because energy burn's going away. The Stag has movement speed. Arcane Currents, they increased the damage scaling with rank and added crit damage bonus. Blades of Wrath, increased the pierce damage. Blind Fury, added pierce damage. Elemental Seeker, replaced energy burn and detonate with crit damage bonus. The Fist, fixed missing physical damage reduction debuff. Living Shadow, increased the damage. Raise the Dead, summon skeletons now appear closer to the target enemy. Crawl out of the ground much faster, increase their damage scaling with rank. Spear of the Heavens, added electrocute damage. Tip the Scales, fixed damage not scaling with rank 16 to 20. Increased damage scaling with rank. We're almost done, actually. So like I said a few days ago, every class got a buff of some kind. Sometimes it was a big buff, sometimes not. We'll go over them real quick. So Counter-Strike fixed an issue with the % weapon damage part of the skill not dealing its damage. That's just a fix. And Zohan's Technique. When dual-wielding guns, now always fires both guns. It's kind of a small bonus, but it's a bonus nonetheless. Because you basically get the double damage thing going on with your double shot. So, Demolitionist. Blast Shield. This is a nerf. It's one of the few nerfs here for classes. The Blast Shield damage absorption scaling was reduced. Mortar Trap. Adjusted energy cost to match similar skills. Ulzin's Chosen. Replace percent all damage bonus with a percent damage modifier. This is a net gain when stacking high amounts of percent damage bonuses on gears/buffs, as the result is multiplicative. So they basically changed just the way that deals its damage. Some tweaking. Doombolt reduces energy cost. It's technically a buff, guys. Phantasmal Blades. It's live now. No, Deo Mundo, it's not. They took away the ability to put attack devotions on it. It works as an aura now, as all the other defensive abilities work, like Myvan Sphere and all that. So let's see, Nightblade, Phantasmal Blades, increase the weapon damage scaling at ultimate ranks. 6 projectiles now set at rank 24. Reduce the energy cost scaling with rank. Heartseeker, reduce the energy cost scaling with rank. Nether Edge, reduce the energy cost scaling with rank. Increased crit damage scaling rank. With rank to 40%. Okay, increase the crit damage scaling. Frenetic Throw, reduce the damage penalty, increase the Pierce converted to Vitality to 100, so it's just a pure Vitality attack now. Reduce energy scaling, cost reduction to 50%. On the count of the overall skill energy cost reduce. It's a net buff for Frenetic Throw cost. Ring of Steel now strikes both weapons when dual wielding. So, Ring of Steel deals more damage. Phantasmal Blades, you can spam them easier. Yeah, that's Parthenox mentions why. The only reason it was best in slot was it proc Devotion easily, and that's just gone now. Good luck. Have fun. Alright, we all know this bonus, right? No need to go over it. Albrecht's got its energy cost scaling reduced in ultimate ranks. Increased fire damage scaling, all ranks. The vitality damage was replaced by lightning. Increased the damage scaling with rank. Added electrocute damage. Tainted Power now converts lightning into vitality. Velka's Power got a little buff. Attack speed now. In addition to the... cast speed. Kind of super OP now? Nah. I was just playing it, and, like, it's good now. It works now. Is it OP now? No. They just made Aether Ray actually do what it's supposed to do. I will have the guide for you guys this weekend, I think, since the patch is out. I have it recorded. I just have to re-record a little bit. And I might just use some of my newer footage, but yeah. I'll have the guide, both video and text, this weekend. Look how happy I'm just reading the buff. Yeah, I know, right? Which is the most OP class? Soldier and Arcanist. I think those are the two strongest all around. Together, they aren't actually that good unless you get a set. But, yeah, still, I think they're the two best. They combine the best, definitely. Anyways, Shaman. Blood Pact. Increase the percent Vitality Bleed, Vitality Decay damage to 104, 204. Added Vitality Decay duration bonus, equivalent to the bleed duration. Bit of an update there. The Blood Pact. Grasping Vines. Wind Devil. Reduce energy costs. Fix Savagery not working with the conversion item skill modifiers. So yeah, Savagery now converts properly with, like, conduits. So when you go from level 1 to... When you go from level 1 to cap, the soft cap, so like 12, that's your normal ranks. Ultimate ranks would be like the 13 to 22. Mythical Tome of Arcane Waste is good. Mythical Panetti's Replicating Wand's fine too. Anyway, Inquisitor. Arcane Empowerment. Fixed an issue with ranks 19 to 21, giving incorrect bonuses to Elemental Pierce. Reduce Pierce damage scaling with rank. Artifact Handling. Fixed an issue with this modifier not affecting Rune of Kalistar's damage as intended. Replaced all damage bonus with % damage modifier. Net gain when stacking high amounts of damage. Same thing with the buff from the... Oh, added crit damage bonus. Same thing with that thing for Ulzin's Chosen. Nah, Inquisitor's not most OP. See you later, Yukari. Thank you for coming. Inquisitor's got one really good ability on it. Let's see. Bursting Round. Increased the physical and fire damage. Death Sentence. Rebalanced elemental damage and removed chance. Elemental damage is now dealt 100% of the time. Flames. Increase the burn damage. Intensify. Increase the lightning damage. Horn. Fixed an issue with this ability not dealing its weapon damage component. Are they going to fix the issue with Horn of Gondir where nobody uses it? Hey, Sino. Ooh, thank you for the subscription. Stop doing what you're about to do? Well, you're going to go way more in depth in it. I'm trying to get it done in the next 10 minutes or so. Oh man, 30k damage. That's like a tick of my Aether Ray. That's impressive. Yeah, and Sino, thank you for 3 months. I promise you'll have an emote you'll be able to use. I have all 3 of my subscription emotes in and just waiting for approval. Hey, Danny. Yeah, the new patch is out. It was out about an hour ago. Is not... Favorite build? My Albrecht's Aether Ray Sorcerer. I don't have a link yet. I'll be posting a link, because I don't have the build, like, in a video yet, and Grim Tools I don't think was updated for 1030 yet. So I'll post a link, bigger. Or, I read who has the biggest pew pew, and I'm like, the word big got stuck in my head. I'll post a link later. My least favorite build, pet builds, or retaliation builds. Let's see. Rune of Hagarod, increased damage scaling. Chill Surge, increased frostburn damage. Increased chance to freeze by 10%. Rune of Kalistar, updated visuals on the fragments created by the skill. Ignition, increased the damage scaling with rank. Stormbox, increased cast range. Fixed the bursting round. Chill rounds will not trigger on melee attacks. Oh, okay. So these apparently could trigger on melee attacks. Alright, last little chunk here is the Necro. Yeah, we got through this pretty quickly. So Drain Essence. They increased the Vitality Decay scaling with rank. Sound effects have been updated. Hungering Reach. Added crit damage bonus. Decomposition. Increased Vitality damage scaling with rank. Essentially, they made Drain Essence deal more Vitality damage. Will that make it much better? We'll have to wait and see. I have no idea what the sound effect is like. I'd have to maybe respec my Spellbinder to try it, but yeah, they gave it a buff. I think everyone wanted Drain Essence to get a buff to make it more powerful. I said all 3 channeled abilities. Is it a all 3 channeled abilities, in my opinion, needed buffs. And Albrecht's got a big old damage buff. And it looks like Flames and Drain Essence also got damage buffs, which is what they really needed. But obviously AAR should be like, of the 3 channeled abilities, that one should deal the most damage outright. Because it's single target high damage is all it does. And then Drain Essence Lifesteal, so it should probably deal less damage. You can hit groups. Flames can pierce. deals weapon damage. Obviously, you want it to hit a little less because it can hit groups and stuff like that. So, yeah, all three, I think they'll have their roles. I think they'll all work to different degrees. Oh, and they increase the movement speed reduction on Grave Chill. So, yeah, I think all three are going to be functional now. Especially with the toning down of things in the Ashes of Melmoth content. Excuse me. So, yeah. I'll work. I'd have to really sit down and test the not Aether Rays. But, yeah. Okay, so... Dread. Increase the vitality damage scaling with rank. Harbinger of Souls. Reduce the attack damage, convert the health by... So they just made it so you don't lifesteal as much. But they added attack speed in. Just like they did with Reckless Power. Yeah, I went through the tuning down of Ashes. They basically just reduced the physical damage the monster attacks deal. They also upped the armor for characters in general. So characters are just more robust now. And they just take less damage all around. Okay, so yeah, Harbinger of Souls and Reckless Power, they both got attack speed in addition to the casting speed they had. That'll help out with the hybridy things that go into the two classes. Oh, excuse me. Necrotic Edge. Weapon damage now scales with rank. It didn't before. When dual-wielding guns now always fires both guns. Yeah, so Necrotic Edge, and did it happen with Reaping Strike? Yeah, both didn't have their weapon damage scale. So now they actually scale. Let's see. Ray Skeletons. Reduce the vitality damage scaling with ranks. Reduce the physical damage scaling with ultimate ranks. Reduce archer and mage skeleton damage scaling with ranks. Some of this damage has been shifted to Will of the Crypt. With minimal shift when stacking both. Yeah, so they toned down skeleton damage a little bit. But they moved a lot of it into Will of the Crypt. Will of the Crypt. Added flat vitality damage bonus. It just makes you have to invest more in not main skeletons. As them as a damage source. Ravenous Earth. Corrected an error in the skill's scaling that had it stop at rank 22, and now scales correctly up to 26. Reduced the rate at which the skill deals damage, and reduced vitality damage scaling with rank. Fall Eruption. Now has a 100% chance to activate on kill. Damage scaling slightly reduced to compensate. Reaping Strike. It now properly scales with rank, and it does the double gun thing. Reap Spirit. Fixed an issue with the weapon damage part of the skill not dealing its damage. Reduced energy cost, increased vitality, decay damage, and improved wraith attack rate and movement. Increased weapon damage to 100 at 16, 120 at ultimate. Sound effects for the skill have been updated. I think that might solve one of the problems that Reap Spirit had, which was it didn't feel like it did anything. Because Reap Spirit, it really didn't feel like it did, like, it didn't. Virtually not, like it did damage and the spirit did stuff, but it never felt like it did anything, so maybe it will. So we'll have to take a look at that. Maybe. I still think the skill is going to need a rework eventually. And the rest is just... Oh, Spectral Wrath now has % physical resistance reduction because it needed that, right, guys? Right? We needed to make the Krieg set the meta set now. So welcome to the Death Knight meta. In Krieg Set. Yeah, these two just had their damage increase, so it hits harder. Yeah, anyways, Reap Spirit, it's probably gonna need a rework, like I said. But I think this will solve one of the problems, which was it felt weak and the spirit felt weak. So maybe this will make it worth it. But yeah, it reminds me of Devastation, back when Devastation was first was initially in the game, and it wasn't that great. It was like a random damage thing that hit, I think, full screen. So yeah, anyone have any comments about the notes? I think I went over them enough. Yeah, hopefully the Reaper doesn't, like, break the game now. Or, Death Knight doesn't break the game. Reaper looks pretty good. It was already pretty good, but I think it's going to be a little better now. Okay. Ring of Steel is only going to work with both weapons in 1040. So you can look forward to that. Obviously my favorite buff is to Aether Ray, because it's the one I actually asked for and I got it. So, probably Cadence. It's like the go-to soldier attack. But yeah, I love the casting speed change too. Or casting mechanic change, not speed. It just makes it so much easier to play the game. It's a big improvement to everything in it. I really like it. I can't wait to play a character that stutter steps and actually have it work. They said they corrected that, Loris. But yeah, that still happens a lot. I noticed it happening a lot. Yeah, Blitz, Cadence, Siphon Souls. It's going to be your main rotation on a Death Knight. And you'll have Mark of Torment to make it even crazier. Take the augment off. You should be able to pass it around then. If you go to the inventor areas, you can remove the augments. I would assume or the illusion. You have to take the illusion off too if you have an illusion on it. I would assume they use mythical mind warps. Yeah. I might actually get bored playing. If I had a character like this, I'd probably get bored playing it. No, they fixed it. You can't attach things to. You can't attach things to the. You can't attach attacks to the ability anymore. You can still attach defensive things because it's considered an aura now, like Myvan Sphere and all that. What's using for the relic? Haunt. Okay. I still chuckle that that's an Arcanus thing still. Oh, you can't trade faction items, period. Yeah, dual wielding mind warps works too. I think sword and board is still preferred though. Yeah, so this guy's doing the double seal of blades thing. Let me check what his devotion is, cause okay, it doesn't have anything equipped, but I would take a wild guess and say that the Twin Fangs used to be on Whirling Blades, or go on Whirling Blades, as would the Arcane Bombs, and then you'd maybe want your Time Dilation on your Cadence or on Whirling Blades. They got rid of that though. I don't. Maybe someone in chat does. Yeah, they made it so your stats are going to be better from your devotions. That needed to happen though to keep the scaling going into ultimate. Yeah, this is a Krieg's Death Knight. Someone linked it in chat. I don't think I have a Rocket Jocks. I might. I'm not going to trade the knight, though. My throat's now, Ravager. Speaking of ravaged, my throat is now dead. So, I can't talk anymore. Yeah, that happens sometimes, Cold BM. Where you get the non-mythical version of a blueprint. That happened to me with the Spellgaze helmet, actually. If something's showing you an increase or decrease of DPS related to conversion, that means something like if you're using Iskandra's Elemental Exchange, say, and you're wanting to convert physical to Aether, that little bit of physical to elemental from Iskandra's is going to affect your DPS.
Hi there.
No, yeah, I know I could throw back something like that. It's just I was just talking for like an hour block straight. I wanted to stop around this time anyways. Thank you for the follow, Karak. Surprised you weren't following me before. Yeah, I'll hop off and probably host Sino. Oh, I can use the new raid command if Sino's on right now. Let me go check.
Hi there.
What? Here, let me read this question and then I'll raid Sino. Yeah, sometimes it is godsend because they have such a diverse spawn location pool that I think learning one or two spawn points, checking those, and then resetting is the way to go. Yeah, that can happen if you have conversion elsewhere. It will affect your DPS. All right, so thanks for watching, everyone. Yeah, Voltaren has a lot. I think Benjar has more though. For me, I go just I'll do a sign off after this. Benjar or Voltaren, I always check the Warden's Lab. So I go the Warden's Laboratory waypoint and just go kill the Warden. He has like 3 spawn points along the way. If he's not in there, I hop over to the Rotting Croplands and I run towards the Amalgamation. And he has one, I think, right in front of the Amalgamation's door and maybe one other along the way. And if he's not there, I'll hop up to the Gates of the Necropolis. And I sort of go in like this big circle around into the ethereal side, and then I sort of cut across back to the west side and then down into the west side because he can spawn all along the east side of the Gates of the Necropolis. And then when you come back to the west side, he has 2 spawn points on that side. And if he's not in any of those, Oh, there's one other place I check in, you go to the second waypoint in the Warden's area, and then you go back up the stairs right next to the waypoint, and there's sort of an area, a room you can check that's right there that he spawns in. That's his closest spawn point to a waypoint. Those are the places I check for him. If I don't find him there, I just reset when I'm farming him. He's a pain in the ass to farm, though. Not gonna lie. Alright, so, I'm gonna try out the new raid command with Sino here. If not, I'll just host him. I'll force the host on him. So, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I will be back tomorrow at about 5 to 6 o'clock EST. I might start streaming earlier tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. So if I'm on earlier, I'm on earlier, and I'll see you guys earlier. But yeah, I'll be doing more Grim Dawn. So, thanks for watching, everyone, again. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Alright, let's see. Raid Resident Sino.